Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's Let's Talk About It Wednesday. It's Let's Talk About It Wednesday with Rodney Grimes here at People to People, the People Podcast. It's all about us moving forward. People to people, power to power, positive thinking people. Man, today I'm in one of my very, very, very serious modes. I do not have a guest in today, but this topic is really important for every last one of us, for all the viewers, for everybody in the United States of America. This topic today is important. Enough is enough. It could be you next. Are the guns killing us, or is it the system? What are we waiting for? I'm telling you, just over the past month, I've heard so many individuals whom have fallen victim to gun violence. In the last couple of years, that's all it's been is incidents where people are killing someone, trying to carjack them. I mean, I know it maybe was about maybe about 8, 9 months ago. I remember it was a young girl playing in front of her house, and it was just drive by, and your hand is blocking it. It was a drive by, and um, the young lady was shot. Okay, so um, anyway, y'all excuse me because my mind just went somewhere. But when I say this is real, real serious, this is real serious. Okay, so the young girl playing out, with her little friends, and here she gets shot. I don't know if the girl ended up being able to walk again or what happened. But just the other day, we had a football player here. I mean, coming out just enjoying the evening, and he gets shot. Some young guys
can teach our children that the gun don't kill. It assists you in doing it, but it's the trigger, the finger that pulls the trigger that do the killing. So it's important for us to understand we have to make a difference. Don't wait till it's too late and you're looking at the person in the casket. Talk to your young people. Talk to them. And let's get these programs going where we can let them know that they got people that care about them. I'm telling you, we can make a difference in the days of tomorrow. Because the days of yesterday, we lost too many young people unnecessarily. We're losing them at a rapid rate that is unbelievable. We got to get back to where we are loving one another, networking and supporting each other. You know, with this pandemic, let me tell you something. A lot of us are not really being aware that it has caused us to really pull apart from one another. We got to get to a point where I'm telling you that I tell you, it's like this. When your children come around and you see them doing things that's not normal, talk to them, not at them. Ask them what's going on. Ask them how it's school. I called one of my grandchildren the other day. Hello, Morgan. I know you're probably not watching, but Granddaddy loves you, baby. I called my granddaughter and I said, hey, baby, how was your first day at school? And she said, it was great. She said it with such enthusiasm. It made me feel so happy. She was like, it was great, Granddaddy. You know, see, what we got to do while they're young, let's encourage them. Let them know that we care. Let them know that they want to reach 60, 50, 40, 30, 70, 80, 90. It's a beautiful thing to get older, especially when you're living your life and you're doing it, helping people, accomplishing your personal goals. I mean, I've carried a gun before. I've shot a gun before. And I've done some things that, I'm going to be honest with you, I've done things that I'm not proud of. And it was during times, sometimes it was during times I was just being ignorant. But I realized that I have to be responsible for the actions. They say if you commit the crime, you're going to do the time. I can't do the time, bro. So I ain't committing the crime. I love 31 flavors. I like 31 flavors. I like to go get my ice cream when I want to get it. I don't want anybody to tell me I can't get no ice cream. If I want chocolate, vanilla, if I want coconut in it, give me the one with the coconut. So I'm not going to go out here and put myself in. And I'm going to tell you something. Where I'm talking, I know people will probably say, okay, I'm not getting off track. I'm trying to make a point. Get people where they understand that you are responsible for your future and your actions. We have to do something. We have to do something. Every time that I come into the studio, I realize that it's me making a difference in somebody's life. Somebody's getting this message. And I know that it is important for me to do my part. We have to get where we continue to pay attention to what's going on. Mental health, we're talking about the struggles of life, we're talking about abuse, everything. All of these things play a factor in how people are responding and what caused them to even go to a point where they'll take another person's life. So the other day, last week, this past weekend, so 3 of my grandsons, they was sitting in the living room and they was playing a game. And the game was, one of them, they was shooting. So I asked my grandson, Cam, I said, Cam, what are you doing? He said, Pops, I'm killing the pig so I can eat it. Now this is, excuse me, this is a game. This is a game. And I thought about it, I said, Man, I mean, is that all we got to give them? We teaching them to shoot in the game. And I ain't gonna tell you this is not exciting to be able to play the game and to blow things up and stuff like that. Cause I you know, and I play them, and I be like, man, I you know, how you do this and that, you know, okay. But the real deal is you got to be conscious of what we're doing. What are we teaching our children? Are we teaching them that love and to look out for one another? Or are we teaching them that you can kill anything and get away with it? Are we teaching them that violence is really the way to survive? Enough is enough. And it could be any one of you. This message here, y'all need to pay attention to it. And you need to sit down and talk about it in your homes. Because I'm going to tell you, it could be the next door neighbor that decide that he going to kill everybody in your house. You already know he carry a gun. They talk about snitching. Let me tell you something. If I live in a neighborhood and it's a guy, especially a young guy, I know he carrying a gun. I'm telling you right now, I don't want nothing to do with him. Not nothing negative. I don't want him around me, and I don't want him around my family. So that means I got to do something about it. So that even means that I need to figure out how to communicate with him so that I can give him a different direction, or I'm gonna have to report him to the authorities. I'm sorry. And you can call it whatever you want. I call it surviving. I got these young guys that ride past my house. And you know what I do? I reach out to them. And sometimes I give them a few dollars. Just so that they'll talk to me. And I let them know, you got to be careful. Because I met their parents, I met their grandparents. I made sure I did that because I didn't want them to think I was some type of pervert or something out here giving them money trying to lure them or something. So they got to be careful. But what I wanted them to do is to be able to know that there's people out here that care. They ride by now and they be hollering, hey pops, you know what, last week they knocked on my door, asked could they cut my grass, didn't have no lawnmowers, didn't have no bags, didn't have nothing. I said, how you gonna cut my grass? You know, they say we're gonna use your stuff. Well, guess what, I let them cut it. But in the process of them cutting it, they had to listen to me. I had to tell them something. I talked about them pulling their pants up. I talked about them going to school. I talked about them showing respect. And I talked about them working for whatever they want. I paid them. It was 3 of them, $20 a piece. They cut my grass, and I mean, I'm laughing because I could have just gave them the $20 a piece because I had to go back out there and cut it anyway and straighten it all out. But it was worth it. It was worth it because I know that they listen to me and I'm making a difference. Enough is enough. We got to do our part. Please. Please. A lot of people, man, you know, y'all looking and thinking this is a joke. It's not. Don't wait till it's one of your kids that get shot by a stray bullet, or it's one of them knucklehead kids that come up and try to carjack you because you got a nice looking car, or he just wanted to ride around the corner. Those guys that shot the football player, check this out. They realized the car was stolen. So that means they done probably hurt somebody else to take that car. And where we at today, let me tell you something that's so weird. The news, we get excited over negative things. How about getting excited over making a difference in somebody's life that's a blessing? Get excited over that. As this podcast, we expanded going all over the world. I'm telling you. We've already did some broadcasting outside the country already, but we're looking to do that on a whole different level. And I'm going to tell you something what's important. We're going to get the message out. We care about what you do. It's people to people. You're my neighbor. I'm talking businesses. It's important that your business succeed, because if your business is thriving, so can mine. It's important that your mental health is doing well. Because if you're mentally sound, man, we can have some sound conversations, and you can help me out when I need your support. If you know it's a kid in your block and he's going the wrong way, don't be afraid to talk to him. You know something else I used to do? I used to have about 20, at least not less than 20 kids that used to come to the recreation center in Alexandria, Virginia. And I was doing showcasing, and I was doing artist development. And one of the things when it came, they had to let me know they was doing all right in school, and they was having good relationships at home. But some of the kids, as they were talking to me, I started to realize that they was having issues. So I started to give them an outlet. So we would do the different shows. It was called the PTP Showcase, Phototime and Productions. A lot of those kids, they end up doing pretty good. A lot of them I see, they didn't go to jail. They didn't kill nobody. They're not strung out on drugs. I mean, you got your few that are stray, but they got a lot of them that was blessed. But you know, the most positive thing that came out of it was what I would do when I see them. I would always ask them, did anybody tell you they love you today? That was amazing. You know why? Because they started to ask me that to try to beat me to it. Because I used to always see them and say, anybody tell you they love you today? Baby girl, can you hear me? Did anybody tell you they love you today? They did? But guess what? I love you.
Love you too.
That's my technician right there. When I said that, guess what? She smiled. It makes a difference. It makes a difference. You know, when somebody tell me they love me, it makes me smile too. You know what it is? We making a difference. Because enough is enough. Enough of the drama. Enough of the deceit. Enough of the disrespect. You know, I have quite a few people that's younger than me that are inspiration for me. That's real. I literally love talking to certain individuals who inspire me to do these things that I do at this podcast. And I know I talked to a young lady, what we're trying to do, I talked to a young lady who was talking about the violence in DC, and she said, Mr. Grimes, I met you at the park when we was over there canvassing for the mayor. The young gentleman who was running for mayor, and I gave her my number, and I told her, I said, look, if your son is interested in trying to do a podcast or getting into the production in any kind of way, tell him to get in touch with me. She called me the other day. She said, my son is trying to be a photographer. My son he's interested in trying to do a podcast or whatever. You know what I told her? I said, look, get in touch with me. This is me doing my part. She was so happy. Now, hopefully she'll call and we still will come through. And I told her it's up to her. I'm doing my part. Because what I want to do is I want to bring these young people in. I want to put them in a position where we can talk about the problems, and we can talk about the situations, so we can find solutions. And I'm hoping that you see that it could be you next. So don't wait. Don't wait till you're looking and sitting down in the church or the building and you burn one of your neighbor's friends or children. This is real. Believe me, it is real. People are getting buried every day from stray bullets. They're getting buried every day from young people committing these senseless murders. And in Washington, D.C., let me tell you something. I get to the point now, I never used to do this. But now when I go to a stoplight, every now and then I got to make sure my door is locked. What kind of fear is that? What kind of way is that to live? I see somebody walking up, I'll be like, click. Because I don't want nobody to carjack me. And the only way we're going to stop it is we got to start giving these services. We're going to have to start addressing the problems. We got to give these young guys a purpose. And I'm going to tell you something else I want to address. Let me tell you something. A lot of y'all ain't going to like this. The rap music, let me tell you something. It's okay to be a rapper, to be an artist. It's okay. But stop talking about killing and robbing and shooting and disrespecting each other. Because, see, they glamorize that. So these young kids is growing up thinking, yeah, I'm going to be a gangster. Let me tell you what a real gangster is, for real, for real. A real gangster ain't no guy out here that's running out here carjacking people. A real OG, huh? He handling his business. Let me tell you. Not saying that back in the day that they weren't killing and stuff, but I'm telling you, what happened back there, them gangsters, let me tell you, they was making a difference. They was taking care of families. They was building families. They was making a difference. A lot of the guys that I grew up with who didn't have a purpose in life, they did. A lot of them didn't care because they didn't have some people to lean on. Me, I did. Oh man, I give you praise, y'all. I give you praise. I thank you for Mr. Gaines, Mr. Holloway, Mr. Johnson, Mr. Ben, Mr. Willis, Mr. Atkins, Mr. Jones, Mr. Burton, Mr. Virginia. Mr. Ferguson, Mr. Putman. Thank you for them. These guys, it was a village raising me. Mr. John, thank you. Thank you for what y'all did. I remember I was, I'm going to keep it real. So me and my friends, we used to go steal fishing rods from these people's old boats and stuff like that. And I never forget Mr. Ben, he told me something very valuable. He pulled me aside one day. He said, Rodney, don't be stealing from your block. He said, don't do that. He didn't tell me to steal either. But I understand now as I got older. He always said, take care of your home. Take care of your home. Don't steal from your home. Don't steal from your neighborhood. Now, he wasn't telling me to go steal in the next neighborhood, but he knew I was doing it. But he gave me a little principle to follow. And what happened by him giving me that little bit of principle, it led into a different level of principle. Because eventually I just stopped stealing. Because I realized it wasn't right. I remember Mr. Putman and Mr. Gaines, they was like the hall, they worked, I think, like janitors at our school. And sometimes I didn't have a couple of dollars in my pocket, and I would go up and ask them and say, can I borrow $5? Well, they gave me the $5, but I had to listen to them. They had to talk to me a little bit. They had to educate me on things. They wanted me not to go to jail. They wanted me not to go and kill anybody. They wanted me not to become a drug addict. You know why? Because they saw that enough was enough too. They saw that they had to do their part. You have to do yours too. Please, make it a point. Talk to your kids. And you know something? For all those that support the People to People program, I thank you. I thank you so much for that. Because guess what? We here. And we're going to keep doing what we do. We coming to you to make a difference in your life and in your kids. If you have a young person out there that's interested in trying to do a podcast, get in touch with us. Okay? Get in touch with us. You can figure it out. I'm on Facebook. I'm doing this Facebook Live. Come on. You can get in touch with me. You got somebody out there got a story they want to tell, get in touch with me. Don't look at it and hope that I fail, because I'm not going to fail. No, I'm a winner. I'm a winner. Okay? And it's not, all the time do I come in first. I just stay in the race. And when I say that, I'm right there with you, trying to make a difference. So if you got a young person out there interested, send them my way. I'm not going to turn them away. I'm not. Because all those men that I called out their names, they played a part in where I am today. And I thank them. I can also talk about their wives who made a difference in my lives too. And the other children that I grew up with. I grew up in the 500 block of Payne Street, and let me tell you something, one of the best blocks in the whole world. I don't care what you tell me. One of the best blocks in the whole world. Because I got raised by a village. People that instilled things into me that I'm putting out today. And I thank them for that. And when I realized we didn't have all of us that came out and went to college and did super great in life, but I'm going to tell you something. We were always respectful. We was always respectful, man. That was something. And most of us had Yah in our life. Most of us. And when I say most of us, I'm talking 99.9% of us know about our Creator. Because we were talked to, we were taught, we was talked with, we was included, we was mentored, we was given the opportunity to think about reaching the ripe age so that we can have our own children, our own grandchildren. Enough is enough. It could be you next. What are you waiting for? These guns is out here, they're a problem. And we got these little kids who's getting them in their hands. And let me tell you something. Most of them 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 8-year-old boys, they're not getting them guns from Mr. Wilson's grocery store. They're getting it from a lot of those guys out there that don't have no sense of direction. We got to get those guys. Now, I'm going to tell you something. I don't like jails. But lock them up if you have to. Lock them up. Get them that they're going to be responsible. And let me tell you something. If a boy kills someone, let me tell you, he should be put in the military. If you find that he just got led the wrong direction. Make him have to do 20 years in the military. And if he mess up in there, guess what? They'll lock him up in there too. But it'll make a big difference. It'll give him a purpose. Put on that uniform, make you stand tall, make you feel like you're somebody, that you're serving a purpose. I didn't go to college, but I went to the United States Marine Corps, and I'm proud of it. And I am so proud that I was able to see some of the things that I was able to see. And I ain't going to tell you that it wasn't a rough time. It was. That's a whole different story because, you know, we got different platforms in life where you got to do what you got to do. But carjacking somebody and shooting them over a car, breaking in somebody's house, shooting them while they laying in the bed, robbing somebody for a pair of tennis shoes, shooting somebody for some drugs, taking a life, that's just, it's unacceptable. And we got to make the difference. I hope that everybody that joined in today, I pray to y'all that you receive a message. And I want you to know that we can do this. We can do this. We can make a difference. It's up to us to come together. This podcast, People to People, it's People to People for a reason. You know why? Because we think about each other. the survival of each other. White, black, Hispanic, Asian, Indian, fat, tall, little, whatever. People to people. And guess what? We represent power to power. That positive power that we possess, we take it and we put it in the right direction, causes us to become positive thinking people. PTP. I'm excited about our journey. I'm excited about what we're doing. And I hope you are too. And I hope this message get out. And I hope y'all realize this is not a joke. Don't wait till it happens to you. You could be next. Don't wait till it happens to your grandchild. Or you see your grandchild sitting in the courtroom and you wondering why they get ready to give them 20, 30 years. Or even life. To be treated like an animal. Where he can't go get 31 flavors. He go in there and get raped. He go in there and find himself that now he get education behind bars that he can't do nothing with in the street. We have to make a change. So I thank you. I thank you so much for all the people who have prayed for me. I thank you for all the people who have supported me and those who continue to do so and encourage me to move forth. Remember, enough is enough. Make a difference. What are you waiting for? Talk to the mayor. Talk to the governor. Talk to your congressman. Talk to the teachers. Talk to the lawyers, the doctors. Talk to everybody. But we have to make a difference because we got to stop this situation because it's getting out of hand. These young boys got them guns and they killing us. And they killing each other. And you know what? I don't want to wait until it's too late. Because it could be me. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you. Love you. People to people, power to power, positive thinking people. That's what we do. Remember, it's Let's Talk About It Wednesday. We have Date Night Friday Date Night, and we have Motivation Monday. This Monday, I got a very, very special guest coming in, a gentleman that, I'm going to be honored to sit and interview him, Mr. Sidney Foots. He's been mentoring for years. He's been an example, and he's still mentoring today. So I can't wait to get to do the interview with him. We got some other things that's coming up. We're going to be doing some interviews outside the country. I think we're going to be talking to one of our individuals who, where's she in Egypt? Yeah, Hanadi. We're going to be reaching out to her and talking about her experience over in Egypt. We're going to be doing that real soon. Also, remember that we got on September 10th, we got Steph Marie, the portress, okay? And we got, I think it's 4 or 5 other poets that's gonna be in the studio. And we're gonna be talking about love and poetry. We letting you know we coming from all angles. We got some things coming up. We supporting the music in the area. We want positive music to be seen, videos. We looking for your support. We're looking for your ideas. Reach out to us. You can send it to Rodney, Rodney, G like in game, P like in Paul, T like in Tom, P like in Paul at yahoo.com. Rodney G PTP at yahoo.com. Remember, y'all loves you and so do we. It's people to people, power to power. Positive thinking people.
Every Wednesday night, every Friday night.